Bullony Basketball.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Bullony Basketball. As you can see, I'm here with three awesome guests right here from the Dummies on the Hardwood Podcast. How's it going, my guys?
Good.
Hey,
Thank you for having us, man.
Yes,
Nice name, because Benny's always full of baloney.
Hey, man.
We already started.
We have not started yet. We'll have to find out one way or another, but I had to bring the sweatshirt that you guys provided me with, so I appreciate that, of course, and
Appreciate the love. We appreciate you, man.
of course,
That's
I think it's
right.
going to be a
Thank you.
good show. I think the first thing we'll talk about is, I feel like the other night there was a lot of really good games in the NBA, maybe the day of the year, but I feel like that brings the question about what has been the game of the year so far. So I want to lead the floor to you guys, whoever wants to go first. What has been like game of the year so far in your guys' opinion?
I'll go with this one.
Okay.
Obviously for me, it's going to be opening night, Rockets versus Thunder. You know what I mean? So everybody had the preview of obviously the Rockets, especially with their additions, the move they made, especially KD and stuff like that, and the defending champs with SGA and company. I thought that, when I was watching the game, KD obviously is going to be KD, but who really impressed me was Alfred Şengün. And yes, they lost Fred VanVleet. And, Isaac harps on me because they need a point guard. I'm like, they're fine. Alfred Şengün, he can bring the ball down the floor. He can still facilitate the offense. 39-7. Come on. Like, that doesn't get any better for a big. So, I think the Rockets are in good hands, even though after the first game. But that for me was the best game. Got me watching, got me edge of my seat.
The reason why we get on Benny about Alperen Şengün is the Rockets offense is like a bottom third offense, I believe, right now. And you can see right now offensively they look discombobulated. Even with Alperen Şengün putting up those numbers, I think the Rockets need a point guard. I do think that they still need a point guard. Because right now in the loaded West, they're right now fifth or sixth, I believe, in the West. Mm-hmm. So in order for them to compete, they're going to need to get a point guard. Because Alperen Şengün, or having to rely on him consistently, it takes him out of his game. We say he's baby Jokic, but he's not quite Jokic yet. He's not as fluid with the ball when he takes up the floor like Jokic is.
Yeah, no, I will kind of play on both sides of what you guys are saying, because what you were saying, Bobby, I do agree. They definitely do need a point guard, especially with VanVleet out. And Amin Thompson's played a pretty good. Oh, sorry, what did you say, Isaac?
I'm like, Benny, knowledge being spoken to you.
Hey, I do think that, Rockets could definitely use a bolster at point guard. I think Reed Shepherd, I don't know, a lot of people in my NBA circles are hating on him, but I feel like he's played pretty decent. They just got to get some improvement there. But at the same time, of course, as you guys mentioned, the offense could need some work. I do think that will come in time as well, though. You add so many key pieces, most notably Kevin Durant. They didn't have a Kevin Durant last year, so it's going to take some time to get gelled, and you just saw them go on a 5-game winning streak, so that's a good sign already. So hopefully it can just continue in the right direction. Maybe they can get that point guard.
Yeah, as I said, I'm not worried about them. I think they're going to do fine. I still think they're going to be a top 3 team out in the West. So
Playoffs are a different beast.
Yeah, for sure. Between Bobby and Isaac, I don't know which one of you guys want to give your game of the year next.
Bobby, you can go first.
So for me, I kind of have a different twist on this. But I'm going to say the Pacers and the Thunder. I believe it was the second game of the regular season, double overtime championship. Two teams that just came from the finals. Double overtime thriller, and need I say that was the second double overtime in a row that the Thunder had gone into. For me personally, I told the guys this, but for me, when I see the Thunder, I don't think they're going to be the champions this year. I really don't. To me, when I look at the Thunder, it took you 2 double overtime games to beat a Houston Rockets team. Granted, they're still respectable, but it took you 2 double overtimes to beat them. And then you had to play the Indiana Pacers They don't have Tyrese Halliburton. That Miles Turner was signed with the Bucks. There's no excuse for having to go 2 double overtime games. And also too, with the Thunder, like their depth, I like their depth, but I like Denver's depth more than I do OKC's depth. You know, I feel like right now, in my opinion, the team that might come out the West is the Denver Nuggets, because to me, top to bottom, that roster is loaded. Top 3 in offensive rating and top 3 in defensive rating. I think personally they're better than the Thunder. And the Thunder, I have my questions about them. I don't know whether or not they're going to compete this year, but I do give them like a barometer of going to the Western Conference Finals. And I'll take the Nuggets out coming out the West. That's what's on my mind. That's my game of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I do agree, and honestly, both the games you guys have already like are games that I was thinking of, putting on my list. I actually had them out on here as like a maybe. I'll talk about them if you guys talk about the other one or ones that I had on here. But yeah, I agree. I think that the Thunder definitely had a rocky start to the year. The first couple games, of course, now they still 11-1, best record in the league. So it is, hard to say much against them. But at the same time, they haven't looked, fully together there. Part of that is because guys are just not playing. Like Jalen Williams missed some games, Chet Holmgren missed some games. So, just finding that balance. Last year they did have it. Last year they were healthy. And it was just a good game because, the Pacers, for one, probably should have won that game. They were really winning it much of the way down the stretch.
They had it.
And yeah, they really had it. And then two, like, it was just, it's exactly what you want out of a finals rematch. Even though the Pacers were missing Halliburton, of course, it was a good game.
Yeah, it's and right now the OKC Thunder, I believe, are 16. Last time I checked, they were 16-0 without Jalen Williams. So, I mean, it's not a knock to the Thunder, but for me, like, the question remains, like, if it takes you 2 double overtime games to win against a team that you should be beating, I just have my doubts on whether or not they're fully focused this season.
But my thing is, if you win 7 or 8 games in a row, I mean, that kind of silences everything.
That's a valid point.
You know what I mean?
That's
I think they're personally fine. The question that I want to talk about too, just real quick and bring it up, is obviously the future, the longevity, right? Obviously, because with the new tax apron and stuff like that, how is this going to affect them in the future? I don't know. It's just something to think about. It's short. It's right now, but it's more. You got to prepare for that. Especially, I think personally, Jalen Williams could be that first person who gets traded. That's just my hot take.
Yeah.
I do think though that if the person whom I don't really trust Chet Holmgren. I don't think he hasn't played as consistently. He hasn't really shown up to me as a number 2 option consistently. I feel like it's SGA and the rest of the team showing up. Whether that be AJ Mitchell, who's been balling this year.
Yeah.
And then you have that what's his name from who's that other guy that I'm thinking of? Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe. I mean, the Thunder have the talent, but I just question who is their number 2 option outside of Shea when Jalen Williams is out. That's my question.
Yeah.
I would say they don't need a number 2. They really don't. They got the team. I mean, you see the continuity that the Thunder have. I'm not worried about number 2 option because each night's going to be a different number 2.
But I guess for me, what I'm coming at is, if they're going to compete for a title, you're going to need that number 2 option on your team. You had Jalen Williams, SGA, and then you got depth behind them, which is, I think that's going to help them win. If they don't have Jalen Williams, outside of that, I don't really trust Chet. He's more of a 3rd option, in my opinion. But I'm not going to lie, like the talent around them, they're really good. They play cohesively. But outside of them, outside of Shea, Jalen Williams, who else is there? Because I don't really, in my opinion, I do not trust Chet Holmgren.
Yeah, I mean, in parts of the year, some days it has been AJ Mitchell. So, I mean, if he can establish himself by the end of the year, only time's going to tell with that. But we'll have to see. I know even the teams like the Pacers, they were winning a little bit more by committee last season. But, yeah, let's see what's Isaac got for his game of the year so far.
I'm going to go with the controversial one. I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Rockets the other night because it really showcased Şengün is probably the Rockets' best player and is the number 1 option on that last play, especially despite his dirty tactics, because last year in the playoffs, you kind of saw Şengün kind of struggle against the Warriors because all their schemes. Now he's kind of getting the reps definitely when he had Giannis on, I'm like, oh, this is not a matchup for him, but he literally blew by him, and it's just really showcases that the Rockets are on their way. They still need a point guard, Benny. Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna get that far without a point guard. But I still would take the Thunder and probably the Nuggets over them.
100% agree with that point. I agree.
I agree with everything except they need a point guard part. Actually, I do agree with that.
We all agree.
Because even though Şengün, like, he's a good player, but he does have some dirty tactics. I've been noticing, like, he's been kind of like more of a dirty player kind of, but like kind of need that. But Şengün's really the man in Houston. Luckily, KD's there to back him up. Ahmed Thompson's getting more comfortable, and I think Tari Eason's going to be an X factor definitely once he gets more playing time.
Interesting.
Yeah, I do think and I agree exactly what you're saying. To me, it still feels great that Şengün is like the main piece, the main part of the core, and Kevin Durant came in and he's still doing Kevin Durant things, but it's not really taken away from that. Come playoff time, obviously, I expect them to go to Kevin Durant late in game scenarios. Like when you need a bucket, that's the guy to turn to. But that still doesn't take away from like this team like is going to go as far as like Alperen Şengün really takes them. Like he's kind of the I guess you could say the X factor. I mean, it's kind of cliche to say it for a star, but I feel like his success might be more important for the sake of the team than Kevin Durant playing well, if that makes sense. Because I think his development is only that's gonna be the most important thing when we're getting into May and June, because last year he looked pretty good in the playoffs, but his team just didn't come with him. And so now there's a little more expectations. You got maybe some more veterans around him, and it's just how is he going to respond when that time comes.
Yeah, definitely, because let's be honest, KD has 2 years left, probably not going to age that well. He's really skilled, but he'll come in times in spurts when they need him. But the main man there is probably going to be Şengün or maybe Ahmed Thompson, but right now it's looking like Şengün.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go
strong
ahead.
point. Oh no, I was just gonna agree with Isaac. I mean, that's a really, really strong point. Yeah, I've always liked Şengün's game. Everybody calls him Baby Jokic, and I can see it. I mean, yeah, I just love Şengün.
Yeah.
But then you
oh, go ahead.
You kind of think about it. He's a 7-footer. He needs to be down in the paint because his post game's like pretty much untouched. He's baby Joker, but he shouldn't be out on the perimeter. Just yeah, he can handle it, but should he need to? Not really. One of his strengths is passing off from the post and setting up others. So that's kind of being taken away.
Yeah, Şengün is more of a half court type player.
I mean, look, like the Nuggets won the chip, and Jokic was played primary point guard. So, I mean, I'm not really worried about it.
Jokic and Şengün are two different players. They're similar, but they're two different players. I think Jokic has more ball handling skills and scoring ability than Şengün.
Şengün's more of a facilitator.
And I think, too, the one thing with Jokic is, I mean, these are both two guys who are comparable because they maybe move so slow with the ball and everything. But I feel like Jokic maybe is a little bit more agile, like with his dribbling, whereas Şengün is more like back him down in the post. And so for that reason, I do agree with you, Isaac. I think that, it is harder for him to dribble more around the perimeter. And you saw that, I think, a lot in the first game that you guys mentioned with the Thunder. It was just not very conducive to a successful offense. If he can get better in that department, then sure. But I think that for that reason, maybe more touches down low. But as a shooter, I mean, he's been shooting pretty well much of this season, so I'm not totally against that. But yeah, my game that I have on here, it actually happened earlier this week. Maybe not too flashy of teams. I mean, one of these teams came into the year going for maybe a title aspiration. The other team, maybe like a playoff team, I would say. And that was just the other day with the Cavs and the Heat. The game went to double overtime. Donovan Mitchell hits that late fadeaway three-pointer, and then it all ends because of someone lost their assignment and the most easy backdoor cut dunk I've ever seen in my life. But I think that this is game of the year, not just because it went to double overtime, but also you really got to see a lot of things here because, one, you got to see Donovan Mitchell as the guy down the stretch for Cleveland, hitting the big shots, making the big plays. I also saw a lot of Evan Mobley in the first overtime, and then the same thing that I'll also say with Darius Garland, who really didn't do much after the first half. They're going to need him to be effective if they want to win. And you saw that last year when he was missing time, in the Pacers series for his toe. And now it's just reported that he's probably going to miss at least a little bit more time. So that needs to be like the case come playoff time. And then just from the Heat side, I mean, Norman Powell had a great game. This is just a team that has no real expectations, yet they have one of the top coaches in the league in Eric Spoelstra, and they just have a unit, you know, like Andrew Wiggins and, you know, Kalel Ware. Like, they just have like a bunch of guys who can come together, like Jaquez, Jovic, who made that impressive. Like, Jovic looked like Jokic on that last pass at the end of the game there. And it's just like working to perfection, doing it without Hero and doing it the other day without Bam. Like, I think that just shows that this Heat team can be deep. Maybe not like a championship team, but I think that they're a team that in the Eastern Conference could be a threat to anybody down the line.
They could be that pesky annoyance that like kind of ruins everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The Heat have a bunch. To me, the Heat have a lot of players on their teams who could be sixth men on any other team. Like Norman Powell is a sixth man. You know,
on my fantasy team.
On his fantasy team. There's Norman Powell. There's Andrew Wiggins. You know, there's, in my opinion, Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo. They got a lot of nice pieces who can be effective on other teams. And also, too, I want to go to the Cleveland point because you mentioned about Darius Garland missing some time, you know, and Donovan Mitchell having to carry the load like last year in the postseason. You know, people say Donovan Mitchell's a regular season player. Well, in my opinion, I don't think he's a regular season player. If you look at his playoff stats, he's putting up 28, 5, and 5 and shoots 44 from deep, 35% from three, 44% from the field, and 85% from the line. If you look at the teams Donovan Mitchell has been on, his rosters have not lived up to their ability. Like in Utah, he had Rudy Gobert, he had Joe Ingles, he had Mike Conley, there was Ricky Rubio,
Jordan Clarkson at some point.
Jordan Clarkson, you know, Bogdanovich, that team in Utah, face it, out in the West at that time where they had to face the Golden State Warriors and the Houston Rockets, they weren't going to get through the second round. And now he goes to the Eastern Conference where it's easier, but the roster is just, in my opinion, not, I'm going to be honest, they're too soft. Like Darius Garland, I love the guy, but he's inconsistent for my liking. Evan Mobley, like last year in the postseason, man, it's game one, it's game two. You guys lost game one. You gotta play through it. He didn't play. DeAndre Hunter didn't play. Jared Allen, sometimes I don't even know where he's at. You know, I feel like people right now are saying that Donovan Mitchell is a regular season player, but he's not. He just needs to be on a team where he's the number one and he's got an all-star who's as consistent and has a good core. Like, to me, if you put Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell on the same team, they're winning a championship.
I don't think it's the roster that's the problem. Let's be honest. Like the Cleveland Cavaliers, what does every championship team have? A veteran. Who is the veteran on Cleveland? Who's going to hold them accountable? I think that's the bigger storyline, because if you look at that roster, who's playoff tested? Who's a champion? Who has that deep playoff run? Because if I look at that roster, closest player is to Donovan Mitchell, but after that, who's going to hold everyone accountable?
And with that point too, like, even though they do have maybe some of those guys who have, like, they don't have guys who had like star roles or anything. They just were role player roles. Like Larry Nance Jr. made the finals, and so did Max Strus. But like, these aren't, not to take anything away from them because it takes a lot to get there, but they weren't the reason they got to the finals. You know, like, they could have been on any team, but if it weren't for, you know, Butler and Bam in Miami, or if it wasn't for like LeBron and Kevin Love in Cleveland those years, like, they probably don't get there and they probably don't have that experience. So like, that's like the one thing. And I think exactly with what you were saying, and that's another reason that I kind of fear for picking this game as game of the year so far, is that I feel like the way the game ended perfectly sums up what Donovan Mitchell's career has been so far. He makes a spectacular highlight play. He's had, you know, 71 points in a game. He has the most points in a playoff game out of every active player in the league, the most 50-point playoff games out of any active player in the league, and it just ends off something stupid.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
he can't catch a break.
It's a shame, man.
He can't catch a break because he's so talented. It's just, I think to Isaac's point about not having a veteran leadership, like, in Cleveland, like, I don't really know who is going to be that voice. So if I'm Cleveland, I'm going out there and I'm looking to see who's going to be that voice. Like, I think that letting go of JB Bickerstaff was great. Absolutely not. I like JB Bickerstaff. I felt like he held them more accountable than Kenny Atkinson does. That's just my opinion. Because right now with JB Bickerstaff, I mean Cleveland, I mean they were competitive every single game. Like they showed out. Like look what JB's doing right now in Detroit. He took that team from a bottom feeder now to probably the top 3 team out east.
And one more thing, kind of like Cleveland, like they like to run. Playoff basketball's different. Like it slows down. You can't run. You have to set your offenses, and Cleveland's not prone to exactly doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's valid. Yeah.
Yep.
Darius Garland's like they're. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you can go ahead. I was just gonna transition it after.
Yeah, no. Garland is he's the type of point guard who likes to play fast and transition, and so yeah, that's a valid point, Isaac. I agree, 100%.
Yeah, man. We'll have to see. I mean, I'm a Donovan Mitchell fan myself, so I'm hoping that this year he can get the best version of his team. But we'll have to see, because I know we've been waiting for that, right? For having Donovan Mitchell have his team with him, and so I think it brings us perfectly into this next topic where we're talking about. I gave you guys a quote where the quote says, "I'm tired of waiting for blank," and for you guys to fill in the blank. So I'll let any of you guys start. It could be anything related to maybe an NBA player playing well, or just a team, like when are they going to be healthy, like a trade. It's up to you guys. What is your thing here, and who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
I'm tired of Adam Silver in his soft league. I'm sorry, man, because there's so many events that have happened within the last 2 years that it's ridiculous. David Stern would not put up with this. Like, he even said, like, with the whole Kawhi situation, we can't be, what was it? Conditional. Come on, man. Like, they got caught red-handed. John Morant situation. He should have been suspended for the season, in my opinion, because you don't mess with that. That messes with the league. And just, he's for the players. I do agree with that, but to an extent. But come on, like, hold players accountable. Player empowerment is taking over, and it's ridiculous.
I agree.
Can't totally disagree with that. I do think that it's just gotten to a point where, like, the players have maybe too much leeway, and they could get away with too much, I think. So seems like your thing is, I'm tired of waiting for Adam Silver to like go. Just to go.
It's not that. I just want him to put on his big boy pants and do something. Gotcha. Make an example.
Be a commissioner, please.
Okay. Because I mean, to be honest, I would have been totally fine if you said for Adam Silver to go. Like,
I don't want to completely shut him out like that, but with the recent gambling investigation and scandal, it's just like, come on, man. Like, you're the face of the league. You were aware of that, and you didn't let the Heat know. That's not right.
What were you gonna say, Benny? Sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, I'm just tired of Adam Silver as commissioner. He's done nothing for us as commissioner. It's just turning into I don't know. It's a cash cow. That's all I'm gonna say. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to get fined by the NBA. They hear this, I'm gonna get fined. Our podcast gets blacklisted, so I'm not gonna say nothing no more. But all they gotta know is that I think Adam Silver
-1 episode.
Yeah, -1 episode. Right? We're gonna lose our subscribers. But no, I'm in total unison with Isaac about that. I just think that Adam Silver needs to be held to more. He needs to hold players more accountable. And the way these players are acting right now, it's kind of like a little slap on the wrist. You know what I mean? There's no sort of form of discipline. How does Jonte Porter, 13th man on the roster, get banned from the league for gambling, and John Morant gets 2-game suspension for toting a gun at a strip club? That's just exactly. It's just a cash cow. So I'm not saying no more. I'm pleading the fifth. So
safest way to say it,
Yeah, that's all it is, man. That's all it is.
No, I totally agree. And this is coming from someone who, in Adam Silver's first year, he did a Facebook Q&A with a bunch of fans in the league, and he actually answered one of my questions. So for that, I always think it's still pretty cool. But I'm sitting here saying, Adam Silver, I'm sick of it, bro. Like, come on.
What question did he ask? I'm curious.
So I asked him actually about if moving down the line, it's actually going to tie in a little bit with my thing here, but if moving down the line, if he would ever change like the NBA draft, like, is it just going to be 2 rounds? Just going to be like 60 picks, same format? Like, and he responded saying it was something like they would look into, but he never really gave a totally concrete answer. So
he dodges the question essentially, like he dodges everything else.
But at that point, I was like, oh, maybe, he's a new guy. I'll give him a chance. 11 years later, it's still the same. So
nothing's changed. So
yeah. But Benny and Bobby, I don't know which one of you guys want to go next.
Bobby, you go. I'll let you go with this one.
Yeah, for me, I'm tired of waiting for Cam Johnson. I'm sorry, dude. It's like 11 games into the season,
okay,
bro.
Calm down.
Come on, man. Like, you have the Nuggets to me right now. Like I said said earlier, they are to me the best team in the Western Conference, top to bottom, and Cam Johnson solidifies that wing position. Right now he's struggling. He's still finding his rhythm, still finding his flow. I get it, but dude, come on now, man. It's 11 games into the season. We need you. The Nuggets need you to step up.
I don't worry too much. He's a role player. Like, it's hard to go from purgatory team Brooklyn and being the only option to having many options.
But for me, it's like he was out in Phoenix. He was vital to Phoenix going to the finals. Him and Mikal Bridges were vital for the Phoenix Suns when they made it to the finals. Cam Johnson, I get like he's been in purgatory, but you know, dude, it's 11 games, bro. You don't have your rhythm yet. Like, come on, the Nuggets are waiting for you to just, who's that Cam Johnson that we traded for? We gave up MPJ, which, I mean, good riddance to MPJ, but, you know, like, come on, dude, like, you're an upgraded version of what the Nuggets wanted. They wanted MPJ to be a 3-and-D player, but he was just a one-dimensional player. Cam Johnson's a 3-and-D player. They're going to need that 3-and-D because after KCP had left, they were struggling out there on the wing. And granted, now they have Cam Johnson, Bruce Brown, awesome. But Cam Johnson, I'm tired of waiting for you, man. You got to step up.
Yeah, the one thing I will say is I feel like, and this has been the thing the last few years with the Nuggets, when they won the title, you know, they lose Bruce Brown that offseason, and then the next offseason after they lose KCP. I know obviously they got Bruce Brown back now, but the problem, in my opinion, like, it wasn't that they didn't bring back Bruce Brown, because you weren't probably going to be able to give him that much money. It is what it is. He walked. KCP, I was at a point too where it's like, you know, yeah, he maybe does some good things, but he's honestly not worth it at this point. The problem was they never got something that could replace it. Like, they just stand it pat. And so you lose Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson, who really probably had a better season last year and also should be doing a lot more offensively. Like, right now, offensively, he's kind of stunk. I know defensively he's maybe been a little bit better, but offensively he hasn't been great. Michael Porter Jr. at least was pretty good at rebounding too last year. So, like, if he's not able to provide that, it's going to feel just like when they lost Bruce Brown the first time, or KCP, like when they couldn't replace it. And then it puts the Nuggets in a hole, because I think if they play to their potential, like you were saying, Bobby, I think they could win the championship this year. And in some days I do kind of like them maybe in favor over OKC, but we just haven't seen it all the way. So
that's my point. Is just that, you know, I think that if Cam Johnson can find his rhythm, we could truly see how deep the Nuggets are. Because right now, to me, last night they just went up and beat the Kings, which you got to beat the Kings. But I mean, it's like, you know, if he can play like that through at least through the regular season, like if he can find his rhythm soon, I think we can see how far the Nuggets can go.
Couldn't agree more. What's your pick here, Benny?
Mine's a little funny one. So I'm tired of waiting for Zion Williamson to play a full season. It's over. It's done. Let's get off the Zion Williamson hype train. We all knew 2019 draft night he wanted to go to New York. Let's not play dumb here. He wanted to go to New York. I think he's really selling himself out on all these injuries because he don't want to play in New Orleans. Instead, he wants to sit there, eat some Creole. He wants to eat some Cajun chicken. He just want to gain all this weight.
The gumbo.
Like, he's doing all this stuff. Like, guys, like, can we be honest for a second? Every time we see Zion, he loses weight. About it. Play a full, sorry, my French, but play a full damn year. You know what I mean? Because I'm tired of like hearing, Zion Williamson's out with a hamstring injury. Oh, he's got a foot stress fracture in his foot. He's out for 2 months. Like, is it that serious, bro? Like, you just sitting there collecting a check, and you having the time of your life out there when you might as well just go to New York and actually play some games. I think Zion Williamson is the most overhyped superstar that came out in the last 6-7 years. I'm tired of Zion Williamson hype train. I think New Orleans needs to move on from him. Get his ass out of there. Send him somewhere else. Send him to a big market team. Send him out to Miami. He might actually play. Might actually make them relevant.
Can I just say too, because that's not the one I have on here, but believe it or not, like exactly what you said, that was the second choice I was going to have on here. Is I'm tired of waiting for Zion Williamson. I didn't think we'd have any duplicates, but that was very close to being one. And it's not that I don't like Zion, because actually, like, I've liked Zion for years, but it is getting to a point where it's like you can't rely on him to play a full year. And even when he does, like, his efficiency has gone down. Free throw shooting is not great. He's not a great 3-point shooter. Like, I'm pretty sure his first first ever NBA game, albeit it was a fluke. If you guys remember, he made 4 threes. Ever since then, he's made 28. Like 28 in 5+ years is crazy, especially for a guy who's supposed to develop, but also it's just he's not a great defender, and at his very best, he's maybe an all-star like in the NBA, which is that's a disappointment for a guy compared to LeBron coming out of college.
Probably like a reserve at this point.
I mean, it's still Zion Williamson, you know, but I think he's more of a second option on any other team. He can't lead the Pelicans. He can't do anything. You know what I mean? Like I'm over the Zion Williamson hype train. Like I really thought like it's gonna pan out because there were games, like let's be honest, when he plays, he is effective. I'm not gonna deny that, but he hasn't done it consistently for me to be like, all right, I like Zion Williamson. He's not a superstar. I think he's a star, but he's not a superstar, and he's not an all-star.
Yeah,
so
I agree. Mine is actually, though, my main one is I'm tired of waiting for NBA expansion. I think it's time. I mean, I was just having a conversation the other day with my dad about like, we were talking like David Stern, like what teams came into the league under David Stern's tenure. We were talking about like the Heat, the Magic, the Grizzlies, the Raptors, you know, just all sorts of teams, the Hornets, like all these teams, the Timberwolves even. So a decent amount, right? And that helps build the foundation of the league, at least like a quarter of the teams. What has been added since Adam Silver's been there? There hasn't really been anything. I mean, the Charlotte Hornets came back to being the Hornets like his very first year after they were the Bobcats, but really nothing else has changed other than like logos, jerseys. Like you haven't seen expansion, and we're at a point too where if Adam Silver himself is saying, hey, the league's in better hands than it ever was and the talent's at an all-time high, then why aren't we expanding to other cities? And it frustrates me that he cares more about like, oh, let's look at these like European cities and stuff like that, when it's like this is the NBA, you know, like it's based in the United States, or you know, North America at least. So like that's crazy.
It's so crazy. No, sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but it's just crazy that you bring that point up about NBA expansion, because think about all these talented players that are sitting at the edge of a bench.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those talented players. Yeah. Exactly. Like some of these players, like they're super talented. Look at, for example, Victor Oladipo. You know, we've got like Jabari Parker, Trey Lyles. I'm just giving you some general examples, but Markelle Fultz, they're overseas playing somewhere. Why can there not be a league where, or another team where, in Vegas, for example, Vegas is a hot market. Just go build a team out there in Las Vegas. You know, send all the players out there. If you're a free agent, go ahead and play for them. You might have a chance to redeem your career. I don't know. Like, there's just too much talent to be just left on the table. And I think if Adam Silver's saying, like, there's so much talent in this league, then why aren't we, you know, expanding on that? Why are we going overseas to do this, to do that? You're not, it's like, what's the vision? Like, are we, obviously, basketball is a global sport. We get that. But, like, what about us? What about here in the U.S.? Are we looking to expand, or do we want to expand globally?
Thumbs down to business and money, because if you really think about it, there are 30 teams, 30 owners. Do they really want to contribute and take a slice of the pie away from them to open up for a new team? No. That's probably why. It's all the money. That's why Adam Silver is more focused on the international, because there's no real market out there, no competitive, and owners wouldn't be really irritated like, oh, I'll have to send a share. That's why they want to start overseas, because it'll be out of the States. More money for the owners.
And think about it's a little cheaper too if you go overseas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
you can factor in conversion.
In some ways, maybe, but I also think like you gotta think about like the travel, like going overseas. They're gonna be playing less games because it's gonna take longer to get there. Like you can't be doing back-to-backs if you're playing one day in like, you know, Chicago and then the next day you're in like Beijing, China, like or something. You know what I mean? Like
it's not happening.
Like you can't do back-to-backs there. Like so it's gonna take longer. And imagine like right now. I mean, I don't know where all you guys are located, but I live in the Midwest, and literally the other day it snowed. Like it snowed a couple days ago already. So it's like if it's heavy like snow, or sometimes like games get canceled in the United States for travel. Like imagine if you're flying over the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean, whichever way. Like that's gonna make it even harder to play those international games. You're gonna have postponing. You're gonna have less games in a season, and that's gonna bring less revenue in that regard.
Exactly.
I agree. I would love to see though the NBA bring back a team to Seattle. I'd love I would love to see the Seattle Supersonics again.
Bring back the Supersonics, please.
I feel like
not
Seattle's
just the
just-
team, but the Supersonics. Yeah.
Yes, the Supersonics.
Seattle is a hotbed for NBA hoopers out there, and bringing back a team to that city, I mean, it would mean a lot. Like, and I like their jerseys too. They got a really nice jerseys,
Hey, but
and
also
it,
too,
plus two, the talent out there. Like Bennie and Issac were mentioning, like, you know, there's so much talent in the league that's probably out and overseas. Like, I remember watching an episode of Gil's Arena, and one of them mentioned that too. It's like, you know, there's so many talented players, but they're not in the league. They're overseas somewhere. You bring them to Seattle, there you go. You get more revenue coming into the NBA. Maybe you want Seattle, maybe Las Vegas. You know, those big name cities that are going to bring in the revenue.
And people always want to see like that team that starts from the bottom and goes up to the top. Like, I feel like it's just really harder for a lot of people to resonate with if a team was added in, like, not to throw any shade at like Belgium, but like if just had like some random team in like Belgium or France or, you know, something like that. Like, it's harder to do so around here. It might even be harder over there because it's like, well, they're just one team in a league of a bunch of teams that, you know, only come here to see them. But what if you don't really like the team or something? So yeah, I don't know, but I think that we all had very valid choices for that take, but you know, this is also going to be a little bit similar because I do want to do one bold NBA take. Now, from your guys' podcast, of course, I know you guys get into a lot of deep conversations about some stuff, you know, that I feel like, you know what, I've done maybe a hot takes themed episode a couple weeks back, but I want to get one bold NBA take from each of you guys. It could be currently in the league, past, future, the history of the game, literally anything, but I'm hopefully all you guys brought one, and any of you guys can start.
Benny can start. He's the coldest.
Hey, all right, here we go. Danny Avdia is going to be an all-star reserve. We need to stop sleeping on this guy. I think
Again,
Danny Avdia is going to make it to
Nothing
as an
surprising,
all-star reserve.
Benny.
Well, if you think about it, like this, I mean, looking at Portland, nobody expected Portland to be where they're at, but they're at the position where they're at because of Danny Avdia. You know, he's averaging 25 a game. So, like, if he's not even in the conversation as an all-star, I'm gonna be kind of shocked because he, in my opinion, is an all-star. He is playing at an all-star level. That's just me. That is my hot take.
I mean, honestly, I do think it could happen. I mean, the way Portland's been playing, it's definitely fair. Of course, a guy like that has never been an all-star, like only a couple get in every year, so it is hard to like confirm it's gonna be him. But the way they're playing right now, and he's probably been like it's really hard to say. You could argue between 3 or 4 guys, but I feel like he's really like the one who stands out the most for that Portland team right now.
100%
Especially
agree.
the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Western Conference.
Yeah, and they're doing pretty well. You guys have anything you want to add to that one, or?
No, I'll go with mine.
Okay.
Jason Tatum is a co-star in the league.
A co-star? So you mean like a?
He's in the Robin?
Yeah, he's a Robin.
Oh my God.
He's not, in my opinion, he's not a superstar. He cannot lead a team to the finals. I know Benny hates it, like I can see right now.
Haven't you
He's
seen
pretty
the
upset.
Celtics play currently without Jason Tatum?
But, you know, this is how I look at it, okay? I look at Jason Tatum similar to Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis on his own team,
Oh my God.
can he lead a team to the finals? Anthony Davis.
Here we
No.
go.
Anthony Davis needs to be on a team with a superstar. So you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. They talk, you know, with
He's definitely getting roasted tomorrow.
Yeah, he's getting roasted.
with Jason Tatum, he reminds me of he's a Robin in the league. Like, I feel like if you put him along with say Luka Doncic, for example, I think he'll be a great piece for a championship contender. But Boston, to me, has 2 1B players that are superstars on their team.
Here's what I'll say. You know, it's not that I totally disagree with what you're saying, because of course, like, Jaylen Brown was the Finals MVP, Conference Finals MVP. So it's like you would look at him as maybe the guy, but I do think that Jason Tatum is still the best player on that team. And also, when you just look at, you know, defining like who is maybe the Batman as opposed to the Robin. I mean, there's 30 teams in the league, and I feel like, you know, there's gonna be more teams that Jason Tatum would be Batman than he would be Robin. Now, if you're saying for like a championship contender, you can maybe argue it a little bit more, but at the very end of the day, he does already have a championship. So I mean, yeah, he wasn't maybe the main guy, but like they don't win that if he didn't play elite level. And you could argue he should have been the Finals MVP too in that one. I don't know. It's close.
And I'm not disagreeing with that. Like for me, I just don't see Jason Tatum. I just don't see Jason Tatum leading the Boston Celtics by himself to the title. I just don't see it. By himself, I don't see it. Any other team, I don't see it. To me,
I just want to say something so bad right now, but I'm just gonna shut up. Bro.
Just save it for tomorrow, Benny. Just save it, please. Are you done, Bobby? Because I don't know what to say right now.
Only one more thing I'll say, and then you can give your Isaac. Is he maybe he can't do it alone, but we've also never seen it. And also, who really can win alone in today's league? The closest maybe things you could say is, well, you named Luka, for instance, but also Luka did have Kyrie, and it's not like they won the championship. In fact, they got beat bad to Boston, who was maybe a more well-rounded team. But I just think that, Jason Tatum, if he's leading a team on his own, I still think they're a playoff team. I still think they're a pretty good team in the playoffs as well. But championship, we've never seen that. But how many guys can actually do that? That's the question.
I would say LeBron James is probably the only player, in my opinion, who's taken a team that was a bottom feeder team to the finals. Like we saw it in his years in Cleveland. His rosters they weren't the best, but the man carried his team to the finals. I think if Luka, if he didn't have Kyrie, I still think he would take him to the finals.
No, he wouldn't.
Jokic, prime example. If you take Jokic out from the Nuggets are probably maybe a playoff team. Maybe. But if you put Jokic in, I think by himself without Jamal Murray, I think he could take that team to the finals.
Okay, I mean, there are a few guys maybe who could get him to the finals. I just don't think there's like I guess I was interpreting it as like leading him to a championship, and I'm like, I really don't know if anyone could, because I mean, even last year, it felt like Jokic was alone at times and he couldn't do it all. So, but yeah.
It's not Luke. Yeah, don't say Luka can carry. I don't want to hear that.
Isaac, what is your take?
Might be controversial. I got the Detroit Pistons going to the finals this year. They're the best team in the East.
I don't hate it, honestly. I don't.
I disagree, but
who do you have coming out of the East, Benny? Since you always tend to disagree, don't you dare say the Knicks, because they look like an absolute joke. The Magic look completely lost. The Cleveland Cavaliers, need I say more? There's only one clear team, and it's Detroit.
Philadelphia. You can't forget about Philadelphia.
Yeah, they kind of fallen off a cliff, and they need bigs and everything. You're really going to put Paul George over Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren.
Hey, look, like they may not have Joel Embiid, but the way Tyrese Maxey's playing, like I said the last episode, he's playing up MVP caliber numbers. And BJ Edgecombe is balling. He's playing like a poised rookie. He's playing really good, and he's my rookie of the year in my opinion. And I mean, they've got good pieces. I think Philly, when they're healthy, like I said in the last episode, they're healthy. They're gonna win.
I'm done with if. Like it's been too dang long with the if. Like I'm done. They're the Clippers of the East. I'm done.
He's tired of waiting for the Sixers. That's another one for his last time.
And you know what? This is what I have to say. Like I'm not disagreeing with the Detroit Pistons. I think that's a great pick, a great team that you selected. However, their coach JB Biggerstaff has always been a regular season coach. He cannot coach in the playoffs. So
I disagree with that.
That's my bold take. I mean,
did you just say that coach cannot coach after 1 year?
You had times in Cleveland where you could gotten them past the second round. Did they get them past the second round under JB Biggerstaff? Yes or no? No. You had a talented roster, but you didn't get them past. Okay, that's my point. So
roster's different. Cade Cunningham, Duren are different beasts rather than Donovan Mitchell and Jared Allen.
He's playing like an MVP.
But you had a talented
He's playing
roster.
like a dark horse MVP.
Duren over Allen and Mobley.
I don't know about that. That's a little too much. Okay. Now you sound like
Duren over Mobley and Allen.
Well, Isaac, I'm curious to know, like, why do you think the
don't ask him this shit.
Why do you think the Pistons would go to the finals?
Here's the thing. You go through the roster, like New York, probably the biggest threat, but Cat's not looking like himself. Josh Hart's battling through injury. Mitchell Robinson probably playing him off the floor.
Yeah.
The Pistons, if they make an in-season trade, if they get one more shooter like maybe Zach LaVine at number 2, they'll come out the East.
Interesting.
I will say, I mean, see, this is what I was saying before the show, and I was saying I was probably keep it as real as a Bulls fan probably would. I don't know if Zach LaVine would be the answer, though, for the Pistons. I do think that they could make one more move, though, but I don't think it would be him. But I don't disagree with your take. I think that they could make the finals. Before the year, everyone was talking Cavs, Knicks as the top 2, and Cleveland probably a little bit ahead just because of the season they had before. But also the Knicks, they got further. And the Pistons over here, didn't really change a whole lot. They still have their general core, and they're still a young team. So this could be they could be the team on the rise this year that maybe I thought was going to be Orlando, and Orlando still looks like they're trying to figure it out. But I don't totally hate that.
We're done for overreacting for first-round picks, right? Benny Bobby, remember? We got roasted. It's going to work out.
Yeah. My take though that I had, I feel like I needed to come with something pretty bold. And it is based on a current player. I guess it's not fully current though, because it's more so the makeup of his career, and it has to do with a former Chicago Bull as well. So my take is, and I'm very curious to see what you guys say to this, is Jimmy Butler is one of the most overrated stars in NBA history. I just feel like, yes, he has had some big games before. He's had some big games in the finals against the Lakers, especially. He helped his team get to the finals in 2023. But when I just watch Jimmy Butler, yes, he might have those big games, but when he comes up small, for some reason, everyone forgets about it, for one. And two, he always comes up the smallest in the very last moment when you need him to come up the biggest. It never fails every single year. I mean, even think about recently or something. I mean, have you heard about any Jimmy Butler bad game? Because he's had bad games already this season, and he had some bad games last year, and he had a really bad series last year in the second round against Minnesota that nobody talked about. He was getting outplayed by Jonathan Kuminga, who wasn't even in the rotation. But it's just so crazy to me. I mean, I've seen it from my own perspective as a Bulls fan when he's really let us down. Most notably, the series where we were up 2-0 on Boston, and then Rondo gets hurt, and then all of a sudden Jimmy Butler just completely disappeared. It's the disappearing act against the Bucks in the first round in 2021. He had moments like this in Minnesota. It just never fails. And I get it. People want to say, oh, playoff Jimmy, and he's the guy you want leading your team. He can win a championship, but he hasn't. And he's even said himself, I forget on whose podcast, but he said, I've never won at any level. And it's because while he is a great player, he might even make the Hall of Fame one day. He's not, maybe as you were saying, about what Tatum isn't, Bobby, he's not that guy. I don't think he is.
No, I agree. I don't think Jimmy Butler is that guy for the people. I think he is overrated in my opinion. He's a really good post star in this league, but other than his defense, Jimmy Butler is, in my opinion, he can still defend at a pretty all-star level, pretty high level.
Not even as he used to either, though. But
he's not quite as he used to. His three-point shot, he still hasn't fully developed it. It's inconsistent at times. And in the postseason, it's they could take the mid-range away, but they could force Jim to take a mid-range. But they're gonna need three-point shooting from Jimmy in the postseason. I'm not sold on Jimmy Butler. I just think that he hasn't really shown that he can be that guy on a team.
No, well, I mean, the thing is, he's never had that the only thing Jimmy Butler always had was a mid-range, and I'll give him that. But to your point that you said earlier, he never had a three-point shot. And I think that held him back at times. That's why teams never really respected his jump shot, so to speak. And he was the man in certain teams. In Philly, he was the man. And, with Miami, he obviously was the man, but he could never get him over that hump. He's just a regular season player. We talk about playoff Jimmy, and the numbers don't lie, they don't speak for himself, but he can't really carry a team. He can't carry a team. It doesn't really matter about all the stats that he had. They never won anything. I mean, there was a Cinderella story to talk about, but after that, it was really nothing. I don't know. I'm just not sold into the Jimmy Butler hype,
They compare, it bugs me when people compare him, we all know he's not Michael Jordan, but they say, he's Jordan 2.0. dude, get out of here with that. Like, please, like, I know, like, because they both wore a Bulls jersey and stuff, and maybe they look a little similar, but come on, man.
That's so bad. Yeah, no.
But yeah, if you guys want, though, I think we can keep it pushing to the final segment, which is the mini game, where you guys will be able to work together. I call it the NBA Epic Tens mini game. So how this is going to work is I'm going to give you guys an NBA team. Actually, one of them on here is one of your guys' favorite teams, I will say. And so it's going to be an NBA team along with a specific stat. And I'm going to say, like, the team, the stat, you'll have 30 seconds. Each of you guys will be able to work together to name whoever are the top 10 all time in that stat for that franchise. And you get more points for the higher rank. So, like, if you get the number 1 answer, you get 10 points. Number 2 answer is 9 points. And I only have the top 10 on here for each of them. There's 3 questions in total. And there's no penalty for a wrong answer. So if you guys, like, say someone like Brian Scalabrine on a top 10 Bulls points list, you won't get docked anything, but you won't get any points either. So with that being said, are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Born ready.
Yes, sir. Which, by the way, just a shout out, I have actually met Brian Scalabrine twice. So
Is he cool?
no hate to Scalabrine.
Is he pretty cool?
He is pretty chill. And actually, like, when I met him, like, the second time, it was like 4 years later. Like, he actually kind of remembered, like, he didn't remember it immediately. And then I showed him, like, the picture, and he's like, oh yeah, like, I remember exactly where that was. And it was kind of cool. So, but yeah, so we got, again, 3 questions. You guys will be able to work together. You can just shout out names, and you'll have 30 seconds for each one. I'll give you guys some time updates, but I won't be able to tell you which ones you get right or wrong until the end. So, the first one, if you guys are ready, and I'll tell you when to go. Your first one is Boston Celtics top 10 all time in points per game. Go.
Ooh, Larry Bird.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
It gotta be Bill Russell. John Havlicek.
Bob
Cousy.
What's his name? Not Anthony Walker.
Antoine Walker. No, it's
Antoine Walker.
Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce.
5 seconds left.
Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce. Yeah.
Jason Tatum.
Okay, that is time. Actually, was a great decision to say Jason Tatum there at the end. He's on this list. So you guys got 5 of the answers. You got the number 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7 answer on the list. Number 1, believe it or not, was a mighty 5'9" point guard, Isaiah Thomas.
Oh, how do we?
Yep.
I forgot about IT. Okay.
He is the highest on there. Larry Bird was number 2, though. Number 3, a forgotten Celtic, and many Celtics fans probably hate him, Kyrie Irving. Number 4 through 7, though, you guys all got Jason Tatum, Paul Pierce, John Havlicek, Antoine Walker. Number 8, I was waiting to hopefully you guys would say it, but I don't think anybody did. It was Jaylen Brown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the last 2 both played in the 60s, Ed McCauley and Tom Heinsohn. But you guys still got 5 of those, and that is, let's see, so that is 9 points. 16 for number 4 answer. Then you got 6 more points. That's 22, and then 27 and 31. So that's 31 points for the first one. That's pretty respectable, I will say. We'll see if you guys can do any better on these other 2. I will tell you, in my own opinion, I think the second list is probably the hardest one. So this one's going to be the most difficult. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
All right. Now, keep in mind, again, it's the franchise's history. So as long as you know, like, the franchise's upbringing, you might have a good chance of some other ones here. But the second one, I'm looking for the Sacramento Kings top 10 in franchise history in total made free throws. Go.
Brad Miller. Brad Miller.
White chocolate.
Brad Miller. Doug Christie.
You said
what?
Cousins.
Peja Stojakovic. Brad Miller. Mike Bibby.
Chris Webber.
White chocolate.
That's
Jason
what,
Williams. Doug Christie.
Yeah, I said Doug Christie.
You got about 10 seconds.
Boogie in there. Tyreek Evans.
Tyreek Evans.
Tyreek Evans.
5 seconds.
Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas. I thought
Isaiah Thomas for sure.
Okay, that is time. You guys said a lot of really good names. Unfortunately, though, only one of those names was on there that you guys said.
Oh my god.
It was DeMarcus Cousins at the 5th spot.
I knew it.
So,
Damn, Brad Miller wasn't even on there?
he was not on there, no. Number 1, now again, like I said, you have to, if you know the history of the Kings, you know, of course, they started as the Cincinnati Royals. Oscar Robertson was number 1.
Oh my god, that's right.
Yeah. Number 2 was kind of hard. It was one of his teammates who was an all-star a few times, Jack Twyman. But number 3, maybe another old player you guys could have got, Tiny Archibald.
Tiny Archibald, okay.
Mitch Richmond was number 4. DeMarcus
Mitch
Cousins.
Richmond.
And then out of the last few down here, most of them, well, Adrian Smith was an all-star game MVP. Number 6, 9, and 10 were all a part of their championship team in 1951. But number 8, I think you guys could have got, which was De'Aaron Fox.
I said De'Aaron Fox, didn't I?
No, you
I
didn't.
don't think he did.
Don't think you did.
Yeah.
I might have to check the tape on that one.
Maybe.
Afterwards.
I got one more than you, both of you.
But hey, you guys are all working as a team here. But so with DeMarcus Cousins, though, you guys still get 6 points for that one. You got one more list left. We will see if you guys can bounce back a little bit. So are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get it.
All right. So this is the last one for the day. And your guys' last one is the Atlanta Hawks. And I'm looking for their top 10 all time in total blocks. Go.
Dikembe
Mutombo.
Hakeem
Al
Olajuwon.
Horford. Hakeem Olajuwon.
What did you say, Isaac?
No. I'm thinking Rockets.
Al Horford.
Al Horford. Dominique Wilkins. I'll throw Dominique Wilkins.
Dwayne Dedman. Ante Zizic. Yeah.
5 seconds.
I'm blanking.
Clint Capella.
Okay, that is time. You did get Clint Capella there in the last second. I still can't get over the back-to-back Dwayne Dedman, Ante Zizic guesses. Those are crazy. Neither of them were on here. But let's see. So you guys got the number 3 answer. You guys got the number 6 answer. You got the number 7 answer. And you got the number 8 answer, which is 20 total points for this one. So a lot better than the second one. Not quite as much as the first, but still pretty respectable. The number 1 answer and number 2, you didn't get either of them, but number 1 was Tree Rollins. And
that's right.
number 2 was Josh Smith, actually.
Damn!
Oh, how did we forget about Josh Smith?
3 was Mutombo. Number 4, now this guy, he's honestly wasn't much of a player, but Shaq used to always say, if this guy made it to the league, I can get to the league. John Konchik.
That's right.
Number 5 was Dan Roundfield. He made a couple all-star teams in the 70s, 80s. 6 you guys got was Al Horford. You got 7, which was Dominique Wilkins. 8 was Clint Capella. And then the last 2 were some big men who played in the 2000s, 90s. Theo Ratliff and Kevin Willis.
Theo Ratliff. Damn it.
Yeah.
Forget about Theo Ratliff.
That is tough. But all in all, still, you guys got 31 plus 6 plus 20, so that is 57 points. I will have to check the De'Aaron Fox one. If that's the case, you guys did get 60, but still 57. I will tell you, not the worst score of the season. So that is great news right there. So,
but it's also not the best.
It is unfortunately not the best either. Yeah, but it's somewhere in the middle. So
as long as we hit more than 50, we're good.
Take that.
Yes,
We'll
sir.
take that.
More wins in the Mavericks this season.
Yeah, that's probably true. How do you guys feel about that performance? It was pretty good, right?
It was
We could have done
solid.
better.
You had some in the first half, though. You had some in the first half.
Yeah.
I was like, some of the names you were mentioning, I just was like, Josh Smith. How did I, Tree Rollins? Like, how did I forget these players?
They're all like, see, they're always like names that you know, but it's not the names you think of like so immediately.
Right.
So it's like if we had minutes, like these, you guys probably would have rattled through all of them. But yeah, but still, I mean, it was very good on the mini game, and I would say it was a pretty good show overall. Glad that we could finally collab, the first collab we've done together. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. You guys got anything you want to add before we wrap it up?
We'll definitely invite you on the show. We'll definitely invite you, man.
When you're out in California, you let us know.
Yes, sir. Maybe
man,
sometime soon. It could be, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, thank you for having us on, man. Like, it was a blast having us.
Big appreciation to you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you make sure, if all your fans out there as well, make sure to follow us too. Dummies on the Hardwood, rep it out there, out in the Midwest. Okay, we out here on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, you name it, we're on it.
Yes, sir.
And this is not the last collaboration.
Facts.
Absolutely not.
I will definitely be getting you guys back on the channel sometime soon, and looking forward to whenever I'm on your guys' stuff. But be sure to check them out. I'm going to have all their stuff in the description below. And yeah, again, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching, and we're out. Peace.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.